Welcome back to PaperTrails. It's your boys Mohammed and Sharmarke back here for another episode. It's been a while, but we're back at it again in the Concrete Culture Studios, joined by a very special guest today. Actually, a return guest, one of our few return guests. So, he's a very special man.
Yeah,
what
right.
Can you say?
And I think we've just gone past the anniversary of our first episode.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a sensational story told in that episode.
That's brought us to the map.
Yeah.
First viral story.
Yeah, just want to welcome Mohamed Mohamud, the author of all the Somali Sideways books, and a brand new playwright for the Between Two Worlds production house.
Yes.
So
Well, thank you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you
very much for coming.
No, it's a pleasure.
Welcome
Whenever
back.
you guys tell me, come through to the podcast. It's a very easy answer, So thank you guys for
you
coming.
really did, because we gave him very short notice, so we really
that's what I'm
appreciate
saying,
it.
yeah.
honestly.
I appreciate being here. No, thank you guys.
No,
Thank
of course. Anything fascinating that you can give us? Any more viral stories?
Any more stories?
Oh man,
I need some stories, brother.
That's what I'm
I'll
saying.
let you
man.
guys know. But
You gotta warm him up first,
Hey, I'm trying to take as much juice as I can.
It's crazy just to talk about that, sharing that story 2 years ago on your platform. For me, even now, I'm still processing it until now. It's still fresh in my mind. I still can't believe it. It's a story that happened, and I guess there's a reason why it happened to me.
Yeah.
And it goes to show that no matter where you are in life, possibilities are endless.
Absolutely.
Whatever's written for you is written for you. So that's what I've learned, and it's something that I always take it with me in no matter what I do.
So, if you guys want to hear the story, go back and listen to that episode.
Plug it.
Go check out the episode.
You're gonna have to go check out the episode, man. We'll link in the description. But anyways, so we're going to catch up with you today. You've actually written and produced a whole play. As of the last 3-4 months, is it? It's been released in the last few months anyway. I just want to hear a bit about that whole experience. When did you first get the inklings that you want to create something like that, and why? What's it about?
So for me, as a journalist by profession, I've always been interested in stories of migration, culture, and people through storytelling. And one of the things that I realized is that there's a growing sentiment with regards to how immigrants and migrants are perceived, and this is something that has been growing for a while now, but exponentially in the last few years. And they are seen as the scapegoat. And I feel like in terms of expression and in a creative sense, writing some play about someone's story was something that it kind of sparked in my head. We wanted to showcase this story because at the end of the day, everyone has gone through a family member or at least knows someone, whether knowing them personally or of them, that they have gone through something similar. And this is a story that is not just Somali, it's an ethnic minority issue. All communities are going through this as we speak right now when we're talking. There are people that are on that boat heading into London or the UK from France, and how the government and governments of the West are using terms like aliens or making them viewing them as subhuman, and there are people that are creating content and a false narrative that immigrants are taking your jobs, immigrants are taking over your livelihoods, and it's people that are at the top that are telling the working class that immigrants are taking over everything about you and everything that you need to sustain life. Blame it on them. And we've seen the Unite, the rally, what's it called? Whatever you call it. I don't even call it a protest or rally, but something anyway. Toby Robinson thing, and
the mob. That's what I call it.
The mob basically, and they created a narrative that 3 million people attended this rally, so-called rally, but it was actually under 100,000. So they want to push this narrative that there are so many people in the West or in the UK that are agreeing to this, when in reality it's not the case. So the best way to do this is to fight the narrative, is to write stories, and this is why this play Between Two Worlds came about.
What's your favorite like ignorant saying when it comes to, I'm saying
ignorant,
those people that say like, oh, the immigrants are taking our jobs and stuff like that. What's one that you just always go like, oh, not this one again?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, you know, when people say, I think there was a video that I saw actually on Instagram. I don't know if you guys follow, I don't know his surname. I think his name's Kofa, Rob Kofa.
Okay.
He basically interviews people in the UK, and he goes to like the poshest areas sometimes, and he just asks them like questions, you know. And he was at the Unite the Kingdom rally, and he asked someone that was attending, what's it called? And he said, you know, my standard of living has gone really low, and it's going down and down. And I'm a landlord, as we said. I'm a landlord, and my standard of living is going really down. And then, you know, someone who's on a boat can just come and they get everything, and they, you know, they live in a hotel. And then Rob said something that was, even though it was funny, but it's actually like, it just goes to show the mentality of all of them. He said, "So when do you want to move to a hotel?" And then he said, "What do you mean? Like, go to what?" He goes, "Yeah, because your standard of living has gone lower and lower. So when is it time for you to be like, you know what, I'll just actually live in a hotel?" And then the guy was like, "Actually, no." So, you know, when you start questioning these people, they freeze a little bit, because they know there is no substance to what it is that they're trying to claim. Oh yeah, the immigrants are taking over our jobs. They're the ones that are causing problems. But then when you ask them how, they're like, "Oh no, it's just how it is." And it's because the leaders are telling them that it is. So they're taking that as fact. Donald Trump, Nigel Farage, certain members of the Conservative government, Musk as well on Twitter. They're just following these people to like, as if like gospel, and like, yeah, this is fact, because they're saying it. But then if you don't do research, then, so we live in a time that, you know, if you don't look at resources and you know, data, and look at how things are happening in the world, you're just going to believe everything online.
Of course,
and that's
it's just
very
glamorized rage bait.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of rage bait.
It's the best rage bait that the media could ever have, because obviously things are going pear-shaped, economically, everything. That has nothing to do with these guys that have just come into the country. It's been going downhill for a very long time. And it was the same guys, Nigel Farage, that was saying, "Oh, once we leave Brexit, it will be okay."
Exactly.
And now it's been 10 years, it hasn't been okay.
It hasn't been,
he was saying,
he was like, "What? Who said that? Not me."
I don't know who claimed that. And he was saying that 350 million a week was going. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, well, it wasn't actually that." So everything that they're basically pushing, but it's working, because there are a lot of people that are upset, and there are a lot of people that are angry. And it's so easy to always blame someone else for your own failures. You know, it's like, "Oh, you're living like this because you don't have GCSEs." No, that's not your fault. You're living like this because this guy's in the hotel that you deserve, and he's going to get the house that you deserve, and the money that you deserve.
The taxpayers' money of your hard-earned money is going to these people. Even though probably some of them are not even working.
They're not even working.
They're like,
imaginary
taxpayers' money is going to these people. But it's not yours.
I have to go back into work because of this guy.
Well, like, they're the ones that are lining up for at the job centre and whatnot.
But I mean, but also because of the fact that now Reform look like they might actually be winning,
especially after that your party shenanigans.
They had
that
one
was shambles.
Shambolic,
God.
But speaking
you know what's funny, like I saw that stuff and I was like, no, it could still be a good thing. And then I saw an email from like last night or something saying, "Come join your party," whatever. And I just couldn't take it seriously.
You can't.
Like, you know what, that's good, and delete it.
Especially when one guy saying, "Don't sign up." Well, after the lady said, "Oh, some people are signing up," and he's like, "Oh, we might have to find some way to take this to court." I'm like, "What? You're gonna take this?" And then she's taking defamation thing to court, and she was like, "I'm not gonna do that anymore." And so, you know what I mean, everything's cooked, because Reform look like they'll be might actually win the bloody thing. And then you've got obviously Elon Musk that's backing a lot of them going on Twitter, which is why I've stopped going on Twitter. It's just nothing but pure rage bait, and I can't it gets me. The bait is good. It's a good. Every time I feel like this is all nonsense, I just see something and then I'm like, I'm back in the, because it literally takes maybe about 5 brain cells and a little bit of research to realize 9% of this just isn't true.
Yeah, exactly. It's all fabricated. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like in the social media landscape now, Twitter really just feels like everyone's just sliding in mud, just trying to grab each other and put each other down.
Of course.
It doesn't feel like every time I open Twitter now, it just feels like not that app. Especially now that Black X,
everything's just ugly. But you know what it is though? So obviously in America, and that's how everyone kind of now follows, is the right wing and the left wing. And the right wing is that conservative lot, the Elon Musk, Trumps, all of this, whatnot. And you've got the left side, and the right side are so good at making heroes and so good at putting people up. Basically, if you say whatever the media is saying is not true, they'll make you a hero.
Yeah.
They'll make you into a Jordan Peterson, who was a Canadian guy that had nothing to do with the far right. The far right embrace him like a son, and they say, you're speaking the truth, all this. And they get a big gas. Like, yeah, absolutely. The media is this. And they'll back you. They'll have loyalists. They'll have people that will make statues of you. You have Charlie Kirk, who was the same kind of thing. And he was brought up by the right wing. And they have such a great narrative about them of like making heroes. But then on the counter side of it, that everything is just that same language isn't there on the left. People aren't. There isn't a big voice, let's say, to the level that Charlie Kirk was from the left side.
No, there isn't.
That because the left don't really rally like that. They don't know how to have that conversation that works with the media. Whereas like you look at Tommy Robinson, he's pushed by Elon Musk, which is a billionaire. Nigel Farage is being pushed by billionaires. All of these, there's a whole funnel that they go down in. But on the left, it's just nothing there.
The right have really got their marketing down.
The marketing of the right is
and the
like
support as well.
Guys like Alex Jones and like all these conspiracy theorists that before people would be like, "What the hell?" Now are like looked at like they're the gospel.
Basically,
it's like Alex Jones has said this.
Statue,
Have you heard what Joe Rogan said? What Joe Rogan said? What? I can't believe Joe Rogan said this. And it's because he's getting endorsements from the president coming on. So it's they've marketed themselves so well that it's like we are anti-media, which is what a lot of people wanted for a very long time, which is like, we don't trust BBC, we don't trust ITV, we don't trust all these So now they've actually continued on that and have made people like Rogan, so you don't have to go on ABC News, you just go straight on Rogan for your presidential campaign.
Imagine that.
Not just anything, a whole presidential campaign. One of the sets that you're going on is the Joe Rogan podcast.
A sitting president.
Because this is the new media now.
Even the social media. What's that other platform that Trump uses? I always see like screenshots. Like there's a whole other platform where just like the far right uses that, and like it's completely. It's not Twitter. It's not Instagram. It's not X. I forgot what it's called.
I don't even know they had that.
And it's something like it's called something corny in that direction, like Truth or something like that.
No. Yes,
it's called True Point USA, something like that.
Maybe something like
that's
that.
Charlie
Truth
Kirk's
Speak or something like that. If he does a tweet or something.
Yeah.
But I thought that was all on the X.
It's own platform. So I'm seeing Trump because I think at one point Donald Trump was actually banned from Twitter. And then he went and jumped on that. Basically, he was like, "Alright, say no more. I'll jump on this one." And he just stayed there the whole time anyway. And he got let back on X by Musk. And then he's like, "Okay, now all of those
can share that."
So it's crazy, man. But going back to the topic at hand in terms of your story. So what? So you told us about the why you wanted to kind of write this, and but like, what was the process like, and how did it start? How long did it take you to write things? What was the creative process behind it? Like, what kind of obstacles did you face? I just want to hear more around those stories.
No, the process of it all. It was through a production, and I kind of like wanted to share this story because it's a personal story of someone I know, and that was when we kind of developed it more, and we started doing a call out to people. People applied, and then we did rehearsals. So we did the whole process of it all, and then and then the performance happened in July for two evenings. And then now it's more of there's a lot of things that has been developed from us, from the cast and crew. We're trying to make it bigger, better, and we have long-term goals and plans that we want to achieve. So yeah, like I would say, I don't want to disclose like specific information.
Yeah, I can see you're going around.
Yes, I am. Yeah, but because
by all means, we want everyone to come and see the full story.
Yeah, because my team are not happy about that, and neither am I, to be honest. So we came to a decision not to share certain things about what we're doing and whatnot. But yeah, I would say it's going to be amazing, and I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to share it with everyone as well.
Absolutely. But also I was going to say, so on the creative process, because obviously we've got people on our podcast and stuff like that want to become writers and write even for theatre as well. Like, what was the actual of like, how long did it take you to write it? And
was it your brainchild as well? So
in between, were you like, is this even going to work? You know what I mean? Were there any doubts around it and stuff like that?
No, of course. So for me, it was, because I'm a journalist, so I was gathering information from this particular individual, and we were sharing, he was sharing stories of things that he went through on a journey. So on a specific basis, I was just getting factual information from start to end. And then based on that, things have been developed on each part, and characters were developed on each part based on some majority are ones that are in his life, but obviously characters have been developed and some that are new. So it was a mix of that, and there was also things that have been like theatrical sort of imaginative approach was implemented as well, like, in the script.
Right. Like dramatized a little bit.
Yeah, dramatized a little bit. Yeah. So from that angle, there was a few people that was helping in that process. But in terms of the actual story, in terms of the essence of what it is that the story is about and what I'm going to tell people on was from myself. So yeah, that was something that because at the end of the day, this whole story is it's new, but I wanted to showcase something current, and this topic is something that's current as we speak. Not only that, it's an important issue. Not only that, it's relatable to people. So all of this combination, I hope this will be something memorable for a long time.
Now, you touched on a good point, because I'm in the process of, like, the whole reason why we started this podcast was to eventually for us to be writing stuff and putting stuff out ourselves, right? As authors, maybe as playwrights, maybe, because we like to consider ourselves storytellers as well.
Of course, yeah.
And so you touched on an interesting point around your journalistic career. Like, so would you say, like, without your experience in that field, like maybe the way you've researched this topic and spoken to the individuals concerned would be the same, or do you think you would have approached it differently, and how much of an impact do you think it's had to like create like the purity of the story?
Yeah, I think as Somalis, we're nomadic as people. So with that concept, we tend to move around, and migration is our core, it's our essence. Whether it's through persecution through war, or whether it's through war and conflict, whether it's you just wanted a new sort of experience somewhere else. All of these is testament that we as people are nomadic. And based on that, I got this through Somali Sideways. Somali Sideways was when I started interviewing people. A lot of the stories that I got was about migration. A lot of it was me moving to the Western world, my parents leaving, assimilating the culture, understanding the language, the people, society, and everything. And then there were some stories of people leaving Somalia or the Somali region, and then them coming back as diasporans, trying to contribute to society, whether it's through charity, humanitarian, or political, economic stability, or business, entrepreneurship. So there was a whole lot of stories that I got from that. So based on that, it was something that I thought, okay, let me use this as a story for Somalis. But then you realize very quickly that this is not just a Somali story. this is a story that is affecting everyone. Every like country I would say from the global south, really and truly. I don't like using that term, but this is what it's been mentioned. But yeah, so people that are from those countries that are leaving to go to the West for whatever reason, and they're willing to go through dangerous routes just for them to have that concept of safety. And you know, the reason why these people are leaving is because the people from the West have come to these countries to loot, to cause conflict between peoples, to make money, to steal.
It's not for humanitarian reasons.
Not for humanitarian. They come with this concept of humanitarian reasons, but in reality, it's not. And then once they take what they want and they leave, there's no infrastructure. There's a vacuum. So, and this is where people start taking and doing whatever they want. And you know, Congo is the perfect example. Congo is the most wealthiest place in the whole world because it has so many resources. But then when you look at it, it's like there are people that are living $1.50 each day. How does that make sense? It's because there are people that are looting the resources that are there.
The whole ecosystem of tech in general.
Yeah, I know, with the cobalt and all that.
Cobalt, yeah. Like the thing that's being recorded right now, all these equipment, our phones, watches, laptops. Where do you think the material comes from? Majority, I would say, it comes from Congo.
For sure.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was at that level of
There's a museum that I went to through the African Union Media Fellowship in Brussels, and there was because obviously, as we know, Belgium, during the 1800s they came to Congo through King Leopold III. And you know, the
biggest criminals that
doesn't get advertised, or like not even advertised, like told in curriculums. Like, this guy killed at least 15 million people. And in the Holocaust, 6 million Jews died, give or like roughly around that number. So, but that's been obviously everyone knows about it. They were taught that in school. They're taught that in every aspect of their life. And you know, Nazi Germany and things like that. But no one really talks about King Leopold III. And there's a museum in Brussels, and it's a museum that showcases every mineral and resource in Congo. And when you go to the museum, you're just shocked. That's when you actually realize that, like, Congo has so many resources until, you know, for a long time.
Yeah, because it's such a large region in the center of Africa, which is already one of the richest continents in the world. So you can just imagine what kind of resources are there available, and of course the people that are going to take advantage of people who might not have the resources to fight back against them.
Exactly.
It is a tragic story, honestly, and it's crazy because we see, like you said, all these regions in the south, the global south, being decimated by these groups or countries or groups of countries that are just there to take. But then you actually break down deeper, like the trauma that's caused by that, and then how that can then trickle down into each of those stories. Every single individual's story. Where did they go? Where did their families go once their homes have been destroyed? And of course, there's going to be an immigration crisis around the world. But how that's managed is obviously, such a hot topic at the moment.
Exactly.
So I wanted to talk a bit more about your journalistic background. We like to see if we can get some gems from all of our guests.
All right.
And you've already been producing gems.
Thank you.
One after the other.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Of course.
I try my best.
So I want to kind of talk about your background, because one of the main issues I always had growing up was I'm a creative mind, right? And
of course.
And in our background, as we all know, what's pushed is engineer, doctor, mechanic, all this blah blah blah. I think that narrative is shifting a bit nowadays.
Yes.
Where it's like you can go get a job in the trades and you'll do pretty well for yourself and blah blah blah. People aren't too stressed about those like handful of careers, but I'll say still the creative fields are neglected. like still, of course, like it is a money issue, and it's a societal issue as well, where like how much does society value the creative arts, especially now with the AI and stuff like that. How much does society value the creative arts? Because now you can go get a robot to write all your creative work, you know. So like
that's true.
This is where it
images and what
everything, videos. So based on how the society views the creative arts, how are parents and people who are in positions to empower you gonna view it as a career? Most of the time, I would say it's at an all-time low potentially. But then again, there's also like all sorts of opportunities and potential careers you can go down within these fields that are just not, I think, not widely known at all. So you mentioned, of course, the African Union
fellowship,
stuff like that. So give us a bit more info about like how do you get into that, and
of course,
for anybody who might be interested in that, how they might get some more information.
No, of course. But you mentioned something very interesting before I talk about the AU, which was like there's the reason why like the arts is like being like not. People are not doing it as much or whatever is the lack of money. I don't believe that. I absolutely don't believe that, because I feel like this is something, it's a crab in a bucket mindset, you know, and a scarcity like mindset. You know, everyone's applying for the same grant or everyone's applying for the same opportunity, and it's like, if I get accepted, I'm not going to mention it, or I'm not even going to mention that I applied for this role or applied for this grant or done this and that, because then people, in case you're thinking someone else might do it or whatever. And this is where we are as a community, you know, and I don't feel like this is the case. I feel like there's a lot to go around. There are so many opportunities that, you know, when it comes to internationally, that they're happy to fund, not because you're British, but because of your ethnical background. Like, you want to showcase stories of Africa, whether you're from the diaspora or local. You want to showcase stories of being Muslim. You know, it's like we're not one identity. We're on a multiple sort of whatever. So whatever fits you, there are opportunities to apply for each sort of thing. And then there's also opportunities for all of them, being British, African, Muslim, maybe even Somali, you know,
the whole lot,
you know. So I feel like people are limiting their sort of mindset and their views and whatnot. And I realize in the creative space, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of like people are being hush-hush. There's a lot of like people gatekeeping certain things and not sharing, you know, with others. And there is not a collective mindset. Like, if you win, so do I. If I win, so do you. And we need to bring that back, in not just in the Somali community, but generally, like all of us. But I went on a tangent. Sorry about that.
That's a fair point.
Context.
Thank you. But with regards to the African Union, so I applied for this in that was a while ago, 2023.
How did you find out about it in the first place?
How did I find out? That's a good question. I think I saw it on LinkedIn.
These are the questions you need to answer.
I saw it on LinkedIn.
Right.
And I follow a lot of like international multilateral organizations, and the AU is one of them. So I saw them release some call out on we're looking for African storytellers, whether you're a content creator, journalist, or multimedia, like wherever it is, or even all of them. Because I feel like now a lot of people are journalists and content creators, like they're mixed. Like nowadays everything is like, you know, you share images and whatnot while you're talking, and you see what people are going through, whichever storyline you're talking. So I feel like that's merged. So they were looking for those types of people. Ala kulli hal, I applied, and at that time I was in Indonesia. I applied maybe a week or two before I left. A month later, I got a notification, and this was the day or two before I was leaving. They said, you got accepted, but you need to come to South Africa the next week.
Miami.
And I'm like, excuse me? Yeah, on their expense. Okay, but fair. I'm just thinking distance, you know? I'm thinking that's mad. I'm gonna crash. Like, that's a crazy journey.
What bus do I take to get there?
Yeah, like what taxi do I take? I was thinking like, this is mad. So I said, okay, like, are you willing? I'm not in London, by the way. That's what I told them. I said, I'm in Indonesia. Can you book me a flight from there to Johannesburg? They said, no, we can't do that. You have to go to London, and then from London book a flight to Johannesburg.
Okay.
So I said, La ilaha illallah. So then that's what happened. Took me like 17 hours from Indonesia to London. And then I stayed in London for a day or two, because that's what I told them. I said, hell no, am I going to go straight?
Back to back.
No way. I'll crash out, 100%. So I said, give me a day or two, like show my face to my family and whatnot, and then I'll make the journey again, another 13 hours. And for some reason, I didn't think it was that long.
It's a direct flight?
No, I had to go through Amsterdam, KLM.
Okay. Yeah. But from there it's direct?
From Amsterdam,
Okay.
From Amsterdam it's 12 hours.
The Dutch,
Dutch, exactly. I have a funny story on that. So as soon as we landed, the pilot said, welcome home. And I was like, and I was just, I was like, what? So I looked around, and there was a few black faces, and I started looking at them, and like, what's this? And then we were like, what's going on here? What do you mean, welcome home? Like, and then one guy was like, he hid because he thought like, I'm gonna, like, I don't know, maybe he got like, I don't know, man. Well, like, I don't want to say it, but maybe he got a bit scared, you know? And there's a bunch of them, and they're like, welcome home. You know? Someone said, welcome home to me before, but it wasn't home. I can tell you that.
That's bad.
But that's how it happened. That's how the opportunity came about. And then I met a lot of individuals from like all places in Africa that we still in touch now. And they're doing like great things. And they're all like, they're documenting stories of their local community on all fronts. Shout out to all of them. I don't want to say them all by name, but they all follow me. So shout out to you guys. Wish I look. Shout out to all you guys from the AU Media Fellowship.
Each one.
Shout out to the AU Media Fellowship. What year was it?
It was we were the class of 2023.
Do they do it every year then, or was it like a...
So it was at the end of 2023, and then we did it all of 2024, and then that was the end of it. And
so what kind of like work did you do there? Like, what did you get involved in?
So it was more of it was a mix of showcasing a new project, working on something new.
Group or individual?
Individual.
Okay.
Or it could be group as well. It depends. Like there may be some like people that have aligned sort of goals, but the little things are a bit different, so they would merge them. But for me, I wanted to gather stories of Somalis that are living in Egypt and Nairobi, Kenya. So mine was specific. Then that was at the end, like towards the end of the program. The beginning and the middle was more of getting to know people, networking, little like sessions from different people. We were part of conferences, whether it's from the AU summit or different events happening in Brussels or Germany or South Africa. We would just go and so it was a learning process, but also it was like towards the end of it, you're like, come up with something. We'll give you the funds for it, but show us what you can do from creating something new. So that's what I did.
And what kind of stories and stuff like that were you looking to or making?
That's a good question. So the reason why I chose Kenya and Egypt is because they're totally diverse in terms of Somali population, number one. Number two, in terms of what they do in these countries. So, for example, in Kenya, there's a lot of Somalis that are entrepreneurial. There are a lot of Somalis that are into business. There are also a lot of wealthy. There are also a lot of Somalis that are in the NGO, international organization space over there. Whereas in Egypt, it was more of a lot of people in the sort of Islamic route, learning Quran, whether it's academic. It was mostly academic. There was also a bit here and there on business. There was also ones that are dealing with communities like refugees and people that are displaced, and they created a center for them. There's a Somali girl called Sama who does that. It's all like that. That's why I chose those two countries, because the stories I'll get would be very different. And I want to showcase that like Somalis are like we're very different. There's no one lens within us.
But I was saying is like with those kind of stories, are you like seeking out the people, or the people kind of coming to you, or like what makes you go, okay, this is a piece I want to write about? It
was a mix of both. But I feel like alhamdulillah, Somali Sideways has reached a number where I know people from a lot of places. And I remember when I went to Egypt prior to when I was heading there, I knew Sama from before, for example, and I knew the work she was doing, so I thought, let me just work on that.
Yeah, it's a worldwide network.
Yeah, but then there were also ones that Somalis that I met from, like, I was introduced by one filmmaker who showcased this film for the first time in 30 years at the Somali National Theatre. His name's Ibrahim, and he said, like, you can interview me in Mogadishu. Yeah, so that's where so they were doing some film program, whatever, and his film was like the first that was showing in Mogadishu, which is a big deal. After 30 years, so
of course.
Yeah,
at the main cinema
spot. Yeah. So he told me, you can interview me, but I also know 2 individuals who are doctors, and they have a YouTube channel that has a lot of following, and they talk about health and in the Somali community, what we need to avoid, what we need to work on, stuff like that. So it was a lot of like people that I knew, but also I was introduced to others. So yeah, it was nice.
Sweet. Lovely stuff. You know, I chuckled a bit because you mentioned Somali Sideways. You know what it is? Because I associate it so strongly with you.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were talking about it from a third person perspective. I was like, bro, why are you talking about yourself like that? You know,
you know, Somali Sideways, great people.
Like, you know.
No, I detach myself. I try to anyway, but obviously, like you said, Mohammed, like it's hard to like disassociate me with the work. Sometimes people see me and they remind of the work. Some people don't know, like they don't see me, but they see the work. So it's a bit of a mix.
This is a beautiful tangent because I was going to ask you the other thing that I mentioned just before. But before I say that, I don't think in the first interview I asked, what was the strangest place that you found a Somali, like from your experience with Somali Sideways?
In terms of gathering a story?
Like just random place you found a Somali. Yeah, like what was the weirdest place? Was it like?
Oh, weirdest place.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Let me say continent. South America, for example.
Chattanooga.
Oh wow.
I'm sure there's two.
I haven't reached Latin America yet.
Okay.
But I'm very interested because I was working with.
Sure, they are in like Brazil and stuff. Some Somalis in Brazil for sure. There was even a Brazilian football player called Somalia.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, that's true. I know that. Yeah.
Well, I know what his parents thinking that.
Actually, Somalia.
Yeah, Somalia.
That's the name.
I remember, man. It was in a FIFA game. It was a
FIFA game. Yeah,
there was a Brazilian player called Somalia.
Yeah, he used to play in.
SOMA.
He used to play for a team in Hungary or something like that.
Something like that in Europe. Yeah,
it was somewhere in Eastern Europe. Yeah, I don't know how he did it or like, but yeah, in Hungary as well, of all places. I think it's called Ferencváros or something like that.
Ferencváros.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about football.
That's it. Yeah. So
interesting.
But yeah, like for me, I would say weird place.
Maybe
I would say China for me. Yeah, I would say.
I think that's not weird, you know. I hear a lot of Somalis
China.
in China.
I think obviously there's a lot of diasporans that are there. But there are also like, I remember I went to a random village and I was like walking on my own, and for some reason
where?
It was somewhere. So it's Nanjing.
Okay.
So it's just next to Nanjing.
Okay, in China.
In China. Yeah, and Nanjing, it's like it's the hub for literature, and that's how they view it. That's they have one of the biggest libraries in Asia.
Okay.
And they don't have much in Africa, which I found out at that time, and which is sad. And I was like, I have my book. Can you put it in the library? So then I gave it to them, and I think it's still there somewhere.
It's really. Oh, no.
This book is in the middle of China.
So I was like, here's my book. Let me contribute somehow. And then they had a little shelf like that, like a little shelf on
Africa.
On Africa, yeah. And then you look at Asia, it's like 5 rows, like
2 buildings.
Yeah, 2 buildings, or floors. Europe, another floor. Like it's just but and hopefully it's still there.
So you're walking through a village and then you saw
and I saw Somali. Yeah.
What was he doing?
And I was confused whether he was or not, because I was like, there can't be a Somali here. Impossible.
Yeah.
But is he? So there was a lot of hesitant. I was like, you know what? Let me just approach him. So I said, what are you? Somali Matai.
Here's the story I'm waiting for.
I said, Somali Matai. He goes, yeah. And then he was like, and then I said to him, like, bro, what are you doing here? Like, what are you doing here? He goes, what are you doing here? So there was a lot of like, we were all shaky with each other.
Spider-Man meme,
basically we were doing a lot of that, pointing and whatnot. And then he said he was there for getting some material to go to Kenya and sell it. So that's when I realized, like, it hit me ahead because I completely forgot. Like, a lot of Somalis, like whether you're from the West or from Africa, they go to China to buy material.
My dad did a lot of that, you know.
Yeah,
when I was growing up.
they go there to buy material. Once they buy enough, they go back, they do what they need to do with that material, and then they sell it. And for some reason, when I was in China, that just didn't cross my mind.
Yeah.
So then when he said that, I was like, that makes so much sense, man.
But
then I thought, why are you in the village though? And then he said, well, it's cheaper here, man.
He's like, bro, I was mining it myself.
He goes,
fresh out the ground.
Yeah, he goes, bro, when I told them, like, I'm going to give them this money, they were like, yeah. They accepted it.
You can have whatever you
But
want.
if I went to Beijing, it would have been 3 times or 4 times more.
Yeah.
I was like, so that's why you're here. He goes, yeah. So then I told him, like, bro, because when I was in China, I was struggling to eat because I wasn't a fan of the food.
Just hella pork everywhere.
Yeah, not only that, it's like the ano is like bio. It's not really ano when you taste it. So there's no difference between, like, you know, when you put milk in your tea, you might as well just have, it's just
colouring.
Exactly, it's just colouring, bro. Well, you just taste it, you're like, bro, what's the difference? So then you end up putting more. You think, maybe you need to put the workload more. You realize this, your tea just getting cold. No tea,
Just making iced tea.
So then you realize, like, that's why a lot of them are gabbing, bro. Like, a lot of them are short.
Enough milk,
you go to the train station, they start taking selfies of you. Stuff like that.
You could say you're Michael Jordan, you could say you're anyone.
Yeah, well, there was a family.
What do you say?
No, because I remember when I was in Zimbabwe,
I
was in some shopping center, and then one guy goes, that's Marcelo.
Oh my!
One guy, and then afterwards, my cousins in Zimbabwe like just play along with it, and then I had queues of people waiting to take pictures.
What?
Wow!
Chinese people?
No, in Zimbabwe.
What? Zimbabweans?
Yeah. They're like, Marcelo.
Mad.
And it got to a point where I had to tell people, okay, relax, him first, and then you can come out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was having a great time.
Marcelo,
then they all waved me out of the shop. I was proper waving to them and all that. It was a great time.
Wow, that's crazy.
Offering me like chocolates and stuff like that. They were like, Marcelo, like, what the hell are you doing in the middle of Harare?
These times I've seen him bringing out his Zimbabwean dollars and counting them.
There was a whole barrel.
I'm just bread cost.
So like, have a whole barrel of Zimbabwean dollars.
$1 trillion note.
What's that worth? £2?
I don't know. The guy was like, this is worth nothing more than the paper I wrote on. In the museum, it was 60 trillion as well. It's ridiculous.
So back to the topic at hand.
We always diverted. Right?
No,
this is why we're having a great conversation. This is why it's because of these two, right? These two, we have a great conversation always. I tend to forget that there's a camera.
Absolutely.
So what I was gonna ask is, I always joke with Mohammed. I say, this man, the mileage he puts on his shoes, Allah barik. I think when he says when he told me he's writing a book about Somalis, sending him stories, I thought, nah, this guy must be going to them. The way he networks, Allah barik. And I really admire the way that you always put yourself out there in the community. You're in different spaces, and you're always making an effort to go and meet people. And like I said on the podcast, you made an effort to come and join us today on short notice, which I really appreciate. And I think it goes back to your journalistic background. It seems like you have an actual interest to just be with people and hear their stories. But like, for me, that's something that I struggle with. I don't know. I think everybody's got a busy life. I'm sure you've got a very busy life with your work, but you still find ways to make that.
Of course, yeah.
And I'm not saying you're out there all day.
No, of course.
I'm sure you're not. But it does almost seem like that.
Yeah.
And how do you find that drive and that energy, and what drives you? Because for me, I struggle. For example, we do our book club event, I don't want to see any human beings for the next at least week. Yeah. So like after Sharkz is like, let's do a catch up, let's do a review. I'm just like, bro, like I'm struggling to think right now at all, like, you know. So how do you find networking to be like a core part of your identity?
Yeah. That's a very, very important question. I think for me, networking has elevated myself, Somali Sideways, and just everything that I do. And one of the reasons why is because of the network that I have. And you know, at the end of the day, it's all about having good relationships with people. And it's all about like actively listening to everyone, and you know, working together, whatever it is that you're doing, And even if you guys are doing something completely different, you'll still have each other's contact, because you never know in life, you might need them for something, or they might need you for something. So that's what it's all about. It's all about building relationships with people, and trying to figure out like what it is that, because sometimes, you know, people, it's all like they view networking as, okay, what can I get something out of this individual? And you shouldn't look at that. You shouldn't look at it that way. Networking should be looked at as, okay, how can we work with each other, and what can I help this individual with my skill set and knowledge on what I have? How can I help that person, and how can that person help you? And if there's a lot that you can, then you can obviously sit down and work together and see how you can fit. Maybe you guys can collaborate and work together on something, building something completely different than the work that you guys have done. So I feel like nowadays there's a perception of networking of what can I get out of this person, and essentially use that person. And I feel like that's what's going on nowadays.
Like transactional.
Transactional, exactly. And you'll go to a certain level when you do that, but you won't go to the extra, like, what's it called, finish line of getting people through relationships. Because now if you built a whole like network of people, and you were to ask them like, oh, like what would you say about like Sharmarke, for example, what would they say about you, Mohammed? If the answer is the same generally, then you've won, really and truly. Because those people that you have in your network, if you ask them for something and you need a favor, they'll help you out. And they know that if they were to ask you, you would do the same thing. And that's the beauty of networking in my eyes. And I think that's how like interaction should be made, in my opinion.
I think it was I forgot what it was. I think years ago we did a podcast with, I think, Booker Zoo, and he was basically, it's a lovely brother of ours, and he was talking about networking like sideways and not just vertically all the time. In terms of like trying to get somebody above you and then above and above. But sometimes work with the people that you know already, people that are doing things close to what you're doing, and then that actually being the thing that basically pushes everybody up. Because if one person's tide goes high, then everybody else basically goes high because of that, naturally, you know. And I think the way you said that was beautiful, because it's not a case of like, oh, what can they do for me? And because they can't do nothing for me, I'm just not going to waste my time talking to them.
Exactly. Yes.
You never know what benefits that you guys might be able to bring about for that, and that person might even change your mind on something that you didn't even know, and open a whole different door than, you know, something that you weren't even expecting from that person.
Exactly.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I think it goes back to in terms of us creative folk who are trying to like build a presence and grow our creative careers. I think it's not, we don't live in a world where you can just go be a hermit and just go put out work and then not engage with anybody anymore. Which is, I don't think it's 100% positive, because there are some people who are very like, they have a lot of anxiety, social anxiety.
Of course,
so I don't think it's a game that's designed for everybody, which is a bit unfair. But then again, I think you got to get out of your comfort zone, and push yourself to grow your social presence. And I mean that's something that we've been doing, I'd say, since the start. It's still a struggle for us. Like you saw at the beginning of this podcast, we hadn't recorded for a while. I was like, what the hell's the camera doing here? You know? But yeah, I think it's so important to just like you said, give a bit of yourself to get a little something back, but not expecting it back, you know.
But also I have to also mention that sometimes like you could be genuine with someone, but they might use you as well. So it's all trying to find like a balance and figuring out that individual, like are they using me, what do they want from me, are they genuine, stuff like that. And you can tell from the demeanor they have and like what it is that that they want from you and stuff like that. Obviously you can never predict every single person at every single time, but you understand a pattern. That's one thing that people should be aware of. There's always
the good and the bad.
Of course,
that comes with everything. And I feel like definitely the beautiful thing I would say that we have around the culture of the Somali creatives and stuff like that is there's a lot of people that are willing to help each other out and be like, oh, I'm doing this thing, do you want to come in and do this? You know, so it's a good time to kind of be in. And I guess also what Mo was saying about the whole, you know, getting out of your comfort zone to actually get yourself out there and do things out there, you know. And one thing that I've realized is that you have to throw yourself out there and you just get more comfortable the more you basically do it. Like, I think the post-show interview thing for Duxie Days, that was way out of my comfort zone. In fact, I remember I couldn't even watch the whole show because I was just shook the whole time. And like my sister was next to me, she could hear my stomach rumbling with anxieties.
Yeah, of course.
But I was like, you know what, I've just got to firm it, and then once I firm it, it'll be all right. And then being on that stage that time doing that interview then made it more comfortable to do the play. And then I was shook then I was like, okay, after the play I was like, all right, then it's not too bad to, you know. So it's a weird little domino effect of like, you know, we've got a whole conference and he's got a part and a half, I'll tell you that. So it's, I think first time we're doing something to that extent, but 100%. Once he gets past that, he's going to be
oh yeah,
you know what I mean. Then after that, it's not that. So you have to almost like literally force yourself to do these things. You know?
That's the only way.
It's the only way.
Like even for me, like I used to whenever I talk to people, it was very difficult. Like talking to like maybe 10 people, 15. I used to see that as like climbing a mountain. But the only way I obviously I'm not saying I'm like totally numb when there's like people in front of me, like especially a lot of people. But I tend to learn that like the only way you learn is by
doing,
like literally jumping in the deep end. That's the only way. And then once you succumb to that fear, it's no longer a fear. Like it's more of like just managing it. Instead, it's not new.
What was your like first what was your first like public speaking gig where like first time ever where you're speaking to like, let's say 10 plus people? 10. And how did it go?
Oh, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard. So
was it like a speech or like
I don't think I'm trying to figure out whether I should say it or not. But yeah, might as well. So my first ever like performance was stand up.
Okay.
And it was like I think this was maybe 2011. Yeah, okay. 2011. Yeah, donkeys years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was my first time going on stage and performing, and I think it was like a Somali event, raising money for Somalis back home. I think it was like education or something. But yeah, I started performing, and it was so nerve-wracking. I think there was like 40-50 people there.
It was a good crowd.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah,
laughs back?
Yeah, there was a few laughs. To be fair, it was mostly about like things that I went through in my life. Really, like people will find it funny. So, and then I did a few more, and then I stopped for a bit.
I'm itching to hear a joke now, but
no. Go
ahead.
No. So I think so. Then after that, I formulated Somali Sideways in like 2014, 15, and then at some point I had to talk to people about what it was that I was doing, and I was being invited. So then, like the gap between me doing that and the Somali Sideways was like 3 years. So I was like, oh, okay, and then the nerves came back because I haven't done it in a while. So I was like panicking, this, that, the other, sweating. I didn't eat before because I was scared that if I ate, I'll throw up or something. All kinds of cause a whole mess and whatnot. So I didn't want to do that. I said to myself, the only way I'll learn is by jumping in. So I jumped in. You know, there was a few like moments, but it went all right in my eyes. Like I managed to go through the storm.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Exactly. Yeah,
most of the time we're going to be the most critical person.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And for me, I know this might sound a bit weird or whatever, but I see the audience members as like mental health patients.
Okay. That's a good one of his performances.
So well, bro.
So that's how I cope.
What do you mean? That's how are you going past that?
How do you see us right now?
Hey, as far as he's concerned, I'm drooling on my.
That's how I
I'm drooling on my notepad. That's what's happening right now. What the hell?
Honestly, guys, that's how I coped.
I've heard like, oh, just look at them naked or something like that.
No, yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
that was quite famous.
I was like, but then another person was like,
yeah, like not in their underwear.
So if you had a choice between the two, which one would you choose?
Yeah.
The mental health, innit?
No, but
I wouldn't do that.
No, but you have to.
I'll stay away from that one.
Okay.
What do you by the?
Yeah, so
I'll just pretend that
as if like they need my guidance and they need my advice. So that's how I saw it. That's how I saw it. And honestly, you guys are laughing.
People are psychiatrists.
Yeah, basically, I'm like, how do I cure these people?
Man.
How do I help make them better as individuals?
Yeah, of course.
But on a serious level, that's how I coped. And then obviously, as time went on, I didn't really need to do that. Then I saw people, and then then it became like close to a norm, but not a norm. But one thing I would say, like the most I spoke to was 1,500 people. And wallahi, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest, it was so after, because I've spoken to many times before that, but that moment it felt like I was brand new again.
For sure.
And I had to do a presentation as well, and I had the button and the mic as well. It was very nerve-wracking. But one thing, I think my mindset was 1,500 people, I started panicking. But then when you're on stage, you don't really see the crowd. They're just dots.
Yeah.
So then once I saw them as dots, like as if I was talking to myself. So then my mindset shifted after that. So then I was like, then I started being comfortable. First 10 minutes was
mental health. That's what the issue is.
First 10 minutes was like, oh, what am I gonna do? But
you said if you are in front of a stage, like, what do you think that's legit? Your coping mechanism? See them as naked.
No.
Say that as an example.
To be fair, that was somebody said to see them in their underwear or something like that to calm his nerves down. That's what I heard from.
So what would you do?
To be fair, as Mo said, you really don't see much.
Yeah.
You only see like the front row because of the lights, and then because of the lights being on you, everything else is kind of dark.
It's dark. It's true.
That's just what it's just kind of like the stage presence where the stage feels weird. It feels like
bigger
the
space. You don't know, like, should I be using the whole space or focusing on space?
Exactly. It's a weird one. It's kind of like, like when you first start playing football, Sunday league, everything feels a bit fast and compact. But then the more you play, the more you're like, oh, I've got time on the ball. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it is.
Good analogy. So I was going to close it with just a little, like, from our experience, it's been very interesting because, like, running a book club, it's a bit more of a interesting public speaking gig, because it's not for us. I don't consider it as a book club. I feel like I keep calling them book club events because I think they're a mixture of events rather than just book clubs. Where we're kind of hosting and we're trying to make it engaging and trying to move the discussion in an interesting way. So like every time I'm making a point, like especially in the first two, I was very nervous about because there's like a brand new crowd, new people. I don't know how they're going to interact back towards me. If they're going to see, like the first couple, I was like, oh, they're going to say anything? Anyone want to say anything? And it made it feel very awkward for me because I was like, should I feel the silence or is someone else going to feel the silence? And I felt obliged to. to do that anyway, right? So like when Sharmarke is like talking as well, I'll try and give him a few comments and a few like laughs, little giggles. I just to feel like there's a few there's a bit of a back and forth going, a bit of interaction. But that experience has really helped actually because it's meant that I'm now kind of comfortable in sitting in that silence and I don't really care what those people are thinking during that silence. So like especially in the last one, I felt a lot more confident just dropping my point and then letting it fly away, seeing wherever it wants to go.
It goes.
So I think that's been a good experience for me, especially like Sharmarke said, we've got a public speaking gig coming up, inshallah. You'll be there anyway.
Yes. Look forward to it.
So I haven't started thinking about what I'm going to speak about yet. We've been given a brief, but how I designed that, it's not even in baby phases yet. But I'm kind of looking forward to it. But it's my first time doing something like that on stage, so
But I also think the book club thing as well kind of changed my perspective a bit because we started off kind of like, well, I started off thinking like we're almost presenting something, like we're presenting this book. But then the more it went on, the more I was like, oh no, we're actually just like hosts that have welcome people into our yard. There's food here. Come close. We're going to talk about this book. Then it's like, okay, so what? And the more we took kind of that approach, the more people were more settled or like speaking more like, oh, what do you actually think about this? And rather than just like, here's our points. Some of you guys robotically say yours, and then we'll see what works. But now it's kind of like where we're just as part of the crowd as everyone else is. And everybody says their piece, and it's like, oh, this person will reply to it. It's not like we have to fill the silence. Someone said, because before it'd be like, they'll say their point, and then just be, and everyone's kind of just they're like, oh yeah, that's a good point. All right, well, so we think to continue supplement that, and then
you have to as host.
But now it's like somebody else will backtrack
somebody
that.
else would do that, like what you're meant to do.
And there's been little arguments, and we need more of those to have opposing views. You know what I mean? To make it a bit more live. But that's what it's kind of changed the perspective a bit of like. So, you know what I mean? Maybe even taking on board, being on stages and stuff like that to almost be a host rather than like coming to my yard. This is what we do. This is who we are. This is what we're about, rather than talking at the person. Because what I get in my head at the time where if I'm talking at someone, I'm like, where's the value? Am I even giving value? Do you even care about what this is? But if it's talking about something I'm passionate about, then I don't really mind if you care or not. This is what I like, and it looks cool because of this artwork, and the guy that made it died in like 7 years ago or something, and you're like, oh, that's an interesting notion, you know what I mean, tidbit. So it's kind of like, I guess, rewiring how we interact with groups, you know what I mean, which has been a good one.
Which has been amazing.
For sure.
What you guys are doing is needed, and like you don't see males running book clubs as often, so you guys are breaking the chain, literally. Kudos to you guys.
We're trying.
Book club is where I'm looking at people like that mental health patients as well.
Right,
imagine that.
They're watching, bro. They're watching, man.
It's been good talking about networking, the creative hustle, but also about your play. So like any dates, or when's it coming out?
I can't disclose that. Okay. But what I can disclose is please follow our Instagram page. Please look at our Instagram page, which is @between2 worlds play, and you'll follow us on all our updates that are up and coming. And so stay tuned, and some big announcements will be made.
We'll put it in the description, and then I hope everyone comes and watches it. I'll definitely be.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm gonna start acting crazy in the audience, but
just to make it more comfortable.
I'm really thinking that
people might think the audience is the play. Imagine that, and the ones that are in the play are audience members. That would be funny.
But thank you so much for coming on once again and sharing all your stories. It's been lovely as always. It's been absolutely our pleasure, and I'm looking forward to talking to you after the play, inshallah, and seeing having a real breakdown and reviewing it.
Inshallah, definitely, man. Thank you guys for inviting me, and as always, wonderful discussion. Like I tend to forget, sometimes we have set times and whatnot. With you guys, I don't feel like there's an essence of time when I'm talking about you guys. So very gifted in your vocab, obviously, because of the book events and whatnot.
I hope so.
And also like the way you guys talk, the way you guys actively listen to people, it's amazing. So kudos to you guys, man. Well done to Inspyre, guys. Round of applause.
Flowers for everybody. But thank you everybody for listening to me and your boys, Mohammed and Sharmarke. Go check out Mohammed's stuff. We'll put it in the description, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the PaperTrails podcast. If you like this episode, please leave a review, comment, like and subscribe, and be sure to follow us on all our socials.
Keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.